Hey guys, it's me Chandra again. So today's video we're talking about the upcoming anime games starting from 2025 and above. Since I recording this video, this is already the end of 2024 and usually I will make like upcoming anime games. So usually I will cover both the one that paid and the one that free to play that mostly have gacha element. So I was talking, and then also I want to discuss like, do you think like most of the gacha games lately too much like open world? Yeah, I want to discuss about that. So let's get started. So let's start with the paid games. So the game that I want to talk first, which is Freedom Wars Remastered. I really want to cover remastered game, but this game is such a hidden gem and it's very like truly hidden because it's only exclusive on PS Vita. And this game I can say is actually relatively good for anime games. It has like wide range customizables, quite similar like God Eater but more customizable. The story is decent too, and a lot of stuff you can do. The monster also kinda sick, the mechanic also kinda sick, very action stylish. So if you really like this game, I really recommend. I already played this game on PS Vita and I can say one of the most memorable PS Vita game. And it's finally launched on most of the console, like the modern console, PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4 and PS5. Second, I'm not really sure this is supposed to be classified as anime or not. I can say this is kinda in between, but you're already familiar with this franchise, which is Dynasty Warrior Origins. So this game will be a new series for the Dynasty Warrior and it actually looks pretty promising. I heard from the test it's actually quite good. This game will release on January 17 and it will be for the platform PC, PS5 and Xbox X and S. So this is basically, if you really like beat 'em up, like hack and slash, this key like massive like extinction the whole like literally 1,000 people, maybe you will enjoy this game. The next game is Synduality Echo of Ada. This game also feels like 50-50 on anime or not, but this game actually have anime for the prequel itself. So this game is basically kinda like mecha oriented and it has like single player and also even PvP. So it's quite interesting, I can say, if you really enjoy like this mecha type shooter like that. It will release on my birthday actually. It will release on January 23 and it will release on PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Then another game which is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. This is actually another remaster game I usually don't want to cover, but because this game also have situations same like Freedom Wars where it's just like such a hidden gems only locked in one console, which one this one is locked in Wii U and rarely people own Wii U. So finally it will release on Nintendo Switch on March 20 and you can finally try this game. Compared to other Xenoblade series, this game is more feels mecha oriented, especially for exploration compared to like you play like Xenoblade 2 or Xenoblade 3. So that's actually the vibe, that's why it feels more interesting than the other series. Next come from the Atelier series. So they will launch a brand new Atelier game. It calls Atelier Yumia. So this game will release on March 21. The mechanic actually pretty unique, like JRPG but has some unique element which is I find is quite interesting. It actually will launch in most of consoles like from PC, Switch, PS and Xbox it will release. Another game is, if you're a fan of Bleach, yes, they will release a brand new game. It's called Bleach Rebirth of Soul. So this is also will release on March 21. So the game is very similar like the old Bleach fighting game. So if you really remember, it literally have like this kind of vibe. So maybe if you want to have some nostalgia but of course with the brand new mechanic and of course better graphic, then maybe you will looking for it, especially if you're Bleach fans. So this game will release on PC, PS4, PS5 and Xbox S and X. This game is pretty popular and have high anticipation. It calls the first Berserker Khazan. So this game is come from the popular franchise Dungeon Fighter, but they took specifically the story of Khazan itself. So in here, the game is basically not like the typical fighting game that you usually see from Dungeon Fighter, but instead they took the genre of Souls-like and mixed with the action of course with the anime style. So maybe if you really enjoy like both essence of Souls-like and anime, then maybe you will enjoy this game. This game also very bloody, like typical like reflect like what typical like Berserker like we know. So quite nice if you will like type like hardcore too. So this game will release on 27th of March and will come in pretty much on modern console PS4, 5, Xbox S and S, and even PC. Another game, I believe this come from just an indie game, but I always find like this game is quite interesting. It calls iLimit. I believe the name before is iCode. This game is, especially if you really like action, you really like this type of game, let's say like. And I can say this game, although just indie, I think it's pretty much quite worth to looking for it. It will release on March 27. I'm not sure if it's fixed or not, and it will only release on PC and PS5. The next game comes from Fatal Fury series. So if you're already familiar, this is a fighting game. So the brand new game will be called Fatal Fury City of Wolves. I'm not really sure this is classified as anime or not, but I always think it is because it looks like an anime kinda like vibe. And yeah, this game will release on April 24, and it will release on platform PC, PS4 and PS5. So yeah, if you really like fighting game, then probably this will be one of your list. Next, the 100 Line Last Defense Academy. So if you're familiar with Danganronpa series, I believe this is come from the something related with the creator of that series. So if you see even the artwork quite similar, like the vibe you kind of already know if you play Danganronpa. So this game will release on April 24 on PC and Nintendo Switch. So the game looks like quite like tactical, and of course it has like the element of like school, like exploring, like detective, something like that, you know, like Danganronpa. Yeah, basically same element. The next game is Inazuma 11 Victory Road. So if you're already familiar with Inazuma 11 franchise, then yes, this is their brand new game. So the Inazuma 11 Victory Road, the gameplay is pretty much different than other like typical football or soccer game, because this one is kind of have like mixed aspect of like tactical strategy and even like turn-based JRPG style, something like that, so which is quite unique. So maybe if you like this kind of vibe, then you can looking forward. This game will release on June, and hopefully they will not delay, because this game already keep delay. Where I'm from college, even I already work right now, it's still really shit. So hopefully this is the final date, and this game will release pretty much in all type of platform from PC, Switch, PS and mobile phone. And the rest of this game is still not sure when, but they only say 2025. Let's start with the Atelier, Resleriana, the Red Alchemist and the White Guardian. Oh my god, it's hard to pronounce. And yeah, basically in the same year they released two different Atelier game. I think it's a huge maybe for Atelier fans. So this game doesn't have so much like information yet. It's only have like trailer that doesn't even include any gameplay, but they only say it will release on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4 and PS5. The next game is Rune Factory Guardians Azuma. So this game is come from Rune Factory franchise. So it's very famous, usually like mixed between like farming simulator like that and mixed with like RPG elements. So maybe if you really enjoy this type of game, this time they took elements of like Eastern type theme, which is I can say quite interesting compared to before. So if you're looking for it, you can do this game. This game will release on Nintendo Switch and PC. Another game which is MIGHTREYA. So this game have vibe like kind of like superhero that mostly you play in the like airplane itself, like mostly flying and very stylish. So maybe if you really like stylish action RPG or like no hack and slash something like that, then this is probably like one of your game. Have a lot of like vibe of My Hero Academia. I don't know why, but it just like give me the impression of that. And if you looking forward for this game, you can actually add wishlist on the Steam, because the only platform that they confirm is on Steam. For the release date, they only say 2025. Next, Lost Soul Aside. So this game is basically a stylish action RPG, very similar vibe like DMC. If you really like this like typical of game, then maybe you will like Lost Soul Aside. Genuinely, I actually really like it. It's very like, stylish and cool, but yeah, I'm not really sure this is anime or not, but yeah, looks a little bit anime style just because it's so stylish. So this game, they already say it will release on 2025 on PS4, 5 and PC. And now let's move into the live service game. Not really sure actually they already confirmed live service or not, but looks like from the vibe, most of this game looks like typical live service game. And the first game is Alterna Vvelt Blue Exorcist Another Story. So this game is basically took inspiration from the franchise of Blue Exorcist itself. So maybe if you really enjoy Blue Exorcist franchise, you will enjoy this game. This game will be text like action RPG style game 3D, and it will release on mobile and PC. For the release date, they only say 2025. Next, Etheria Restart. So this game is apparently, as what I read, it will become a turn-based gacha game, so similar like kind of like Honkai style, but of course this game has their own vibe, so I hope when they release it actually it have like interesting mechanic. So I'm not seeing so much like information regarding the release date. They only say 2025 and they will release on mobile and PC. The next game is The Hidden Ones. So this is a gacha game, but I can say it's quite unique because it's mostly focused on fighting and it looks like typical like kung fu, like one-on-one type of fight, which is unique compared to other like typical gacha like turn-based, open world, or even just normal action. This has their own vibe that I can say they took a unique approach, and I can say it's quite worth to looking for it. Nothing much info regarding release date. They only say release on mobile and PC. The next game is Tribe 9. So this game artwork specifically, it's come from the creator of Danganronpa. Maybe that's why some of you find like, wow, this art style is quite familiar. So yeah, this is come from Danganronpa creator. So this game is basically a 3D action RPG game, so similar like PGR or even like ZZZ or even Hater Gazer or something like that. But of course it's less fluid, it feels much more stiff because you actually can try it already has the demo itself, and this game already confirmed gacha because in the demo it has gacha aspect. And of course this game also, the one that's very shine is the story, like the typical, you know, the death, something related like killing game, something like that. So yeah, it has also the similar vibe in Tribe 9. For the release date, they haven't announced, but they already confirmed the platform is PC and mobile. Next is Dragon Ball Project Multi. So this is basically MOBA game for Dragon Ball fans. So maybe if you really like Dragon Ball and really enjoy MOBA, then this will be your game. They haven't announced much further, but this is like typical like MOBA games but covered with the Dragon Ball skin. Like they only say that they will release on 2025 and they will release on PC and mobile. And the next game actually very popular in the other server or other language, a lot of hype, and finally will come on global. Pretty much maybe some of you already know Umamusume Pretty Derby, or the horse racing game. So this game is 100% is gacha games, and yeah, you're pulling for the horse girl, something like that, and it's the horse racing. For the release date, they haven't stated, but most likely will come in 2025 because they already do a lot of campaign lately for global, so I believe it will come very soon. As for platform, it's only confirmed for mobile. The next game is Madoka Magica Magia Exedra. So basically this game come from the popular anime which is Madoka Magica, and finally they make a game, and this game will be a gacha game, turn-based, and for some weird reason the UI placement is kind of remind of Honkai style. I don't know why, maybe Honkai style brain rot. And yeah, this game will release on 2025, and they say specifically on spring, but no when, but so that means early, will become very soon. And for the platform will be PC and mobile. The next game, I'm not sure this is anime or not, but I just include, which is Honor Kings World. Basically this is open world version of the Honors of Kings. If you already know Honors of Kings, basically franchise that very famous from MOBA itself, but they make finally for open world, so it has like of course similar vibe like Genshin. Not really sure when it will release, not so much information, but for sure this game will pretty much like typical gacha or live service. For the platform, not even like state what exactly, but I also pretty much assume it's either like PC or even mobile, like both of them, something like that. Next is the 7 Deadly Sins Origin. So this is basically, I already talked last year, they say they will release like 2024, but they end up never release, but they say this time they will release on 2025, so hopefully they will not delay. So this is basically the open world version of 7 Deadly Sins, or we can say like the Genshin Impact of the 7 Deadly Sins franchise. So maybe if you're still looking forward and hype for this game, then you can take a look. As for the platform, they only said it will be for mobile, PC, and console, but what console they didn't specify. Next is Unending Dawn. So Unending Dawn actually have very similar vibe like Wuthering Wave, but I think it's a little bit more thick in terms of Souls-like element, because I see it as also like parry instead of like literally a parry, not like parry like Wuthering Wave, so it more like Souls-like element than even UI itself. And not so much like information that they released. They only released the brand new demo this year, but they haven't confirmed regarding the release date, so don't assume maybe it will come like so soon. But for the platform that they announced is 100% will come on PS5. Some people confirm it already will come on PC, and I believe it will come soon on mobile. And regarding this is a gacha game or not, I think this is pretty much a gacha game. The next game is Duet Knight Abyss. So this game is pretty much interesting. Instead, they just like copying like typical open world action RPG. They take some tweak or different inspiration, which is Warframe. And even the world itself is not open world, it's only semi-open world, so you will not feel like everything connected between one another. You need to teleport, so similar like Honkai style actually. Also like the typical of the gameplay is more floaty, basically similar like Warframe. And even the character you can change to any other weapon, not like locked with one weapon like typical like other gacha games. So because of that, it took more inspiration from Warframe. So maybe if you really enjoy like both like elements of anime and Warframe, then maybe you will enjoy this game. Take notes, this game is also gacha. So that means you will pulling for the characters. So it's not like typical monetization like Warframe. So take notes in that. And regarding for the release date, they haven't announced. But as far as I know, we will have soon the beta test. So pretty much I expect is within 1 or 2 years this game will release. And so far for the platform, they only confirm PC and mobile. And the other game which is Black Beacon. So Black Beacon is basically 3D action RPG games. But instead they just took the normal like camera angle like PG or even ZZ. This one, the camera angle is a little bit higher up, so similar like Lost Ark, Diablo, even like Path of Exile though, so it's a little bit higher up, and which is pretty good. It adds more variations, and this game basically not so much I can say recognition, not so much people know, but from what I see it's actually pretty look good, especially if you like 3D action game. But of course don't expect this game will be super top notch, especially in terms of graphic, because I believe this game come from just like small company, at least not as big as Hoyo, so the graphic is not really super like outstanding. But at least for me it looks like acceptable, and the most important for me is the gameplay. If the gameplay is fun, I think it can compensate. And the good things probably because the graphic not so great, I think it's more mobile friendly. Currently they already announced the open beta and already have pre-registration, so I believe the release date will come very soon on 2025. And for the of course platform is mobile. The next game is Dungeon and Fighter Arret. So this is come from the Dungeon and Fighter franchise, and this time this game will be the open world action RPG. So if I already say like that, this will be typical same game like Genshin. So yeah, like typical fantasy, like explore open world, have skill in here there, character gacha. So you can expect the thing something like that in Dungeon Fighter Arret. As for the information, nothing much. They only announce in the Game Awards. They don't announce so much like regarding release date on even like the platform itself, but I believe it will come at least on mobile and PC, something like that. Next is Neverness to Everness or NTE. This game comes from the developer from Tower Fantasy or Hota, if you still remember. So they make the brand new games using Unreal Engine 5, and yeah, from the 5 it looks like kinda GTA but anime. And of course, this is gacha games, open world, typical like Genshin Impact, but more like urban area, something like that. So maybe if you're interested, you can pay attention to this game. I think they already have their technical test on CN itself. As for the release date, they don't really have the confirmation. I believe with its technical test, it can be still quite long. So it's either like 1 or 2 years. As for platform, they already confirmed like PS5, PC, and even mobile. Of course, NTE will become a gacha game, so don't expect it will not gacha game. Another game that actually has the similar vibe, it calls Ananta. This is previously called Project Mugen. So Ananta is basically a game also that open world action RPG that looks like in the urban area too. This one is very lookalike, but I think Ananta, the one that make it a little bit different, it has the Spider-Man effect, like swinging type. I think that's the one that make it a little bit different. But as for like character style, somehow quite even like similar, like typical like GTA urban like that, and even like colorful type like anime art style. As for release date, they haven't announced yet, but I believe they will do the test soon, so you can expect around 1 or year 2 after that. As for release date, we still don't know, but they will have tests soon, so maybe you can expect from 1 year or 2 years from now. As for the platform, as usual, PC and mobile, and they announced also console but not specify which console. As for Ananta, I'm pretty much sure also this game will become a gacha game. Next is Azure Promelia. So Azure Promelia also another open world action RPG game, but they're setting more into fantasy world and put more focus into creature companionship, or we can say like pet. So it feels more like Genshin meet Power World, and from what I see, it's more fluid compared to like the Natlan exploration with the Saurian, because this one literally the pet feels like literally blend with the character, like you have like interaction, so it feels more like kind of powered, I can say. And yeah, maybe if you're looking forward for this game that maybe you feels more like into like creature and fantasy theme, you will be like this game. As for the release date, they haven't announced anything, very rare information since they just announced their pre-registration and that's it. As for platform, they only say like PS5, PC and mobile. Of course, Azure Promelia highly chance it will become a gacha games. I cannot see if it's not gacha games. Next game is Project 2/3. So this game is just recently announced their games and only literally dropped their first PV and gameplay trailer, so we don't get so much information. So the only information that they state is that this game will be an anime style open world action RPG. So yeah, another like open world action RPG, and most likely this game will be gacha. From what you see in the trailer, it still looks like very not polished because this is just only their first PV, so don't expect way too much. And everything's still in Chinese, but don't worry, they already have their YouTube channel that state everything like in English, so I don't think they will only release in Chinese. I think they aiming for release for even like English language. And regarding the release date, for sure we still don't know because it's just very new, so don't expect it will come soon. Regarding the platform, I think it will be pretty much mobile and PC, at least at the bare minimum. And next is Chaos Zero Nightmare. So this game is by Milegate. So if you're familiar with the Epic 7, so yeah, this game is from them too. So this is their brand new game, and this game still pretty much quite have vibe like Epic 7, but they make of course with their own uniqueness. So it's kind of like turn-based but have like hard buff, something like that. Remind me like Reverse 99. So yeah, also the gameplay kind of make the model like chibi fight like that, like small, so not fully chibi, but you know, like kind of somehow chibi fight version. And yeah, nothing much information, it's only like announcement and they show the gameplay in here. So this game for sure gacha games. And regarding the platform, as far as I know, it's only for mobile and PC. Regarding the release date, it's still to be announced, so maybe in 1 year or 2 years. Next game is Stella Sora. So Stella Sora is game made or developed by Yostar, so maybe you're already familiar if you play gacha game. So this game is basically 3D action RPG that looks like a roguelike, and the angle is same like Black Beacon, kind of like high angle, so it's not like ZZZ or PGR, so it's kind of different perspective. So yeah, regarding the model, it's kind of, I can say, like in the middle from full size character and like chibi. So it's not like chibi but not full size too. I don't know how to describe. When you see, you kind of understand what I mean. So yeah, overall looks pretty much more polished in here. The gameplay looks actually pretty decent if you like 3D action RPG. Maybe if you like this type of vibe, then you can take a look at this game. This game also already in the pre-register and they already show their reward, so I believe this will release at least 2025, or at least not so long from that. And regarding for the platform, it's just typical usual mobile and PC. Next game is Project Net. So if you see the character may be familiar, probably is actually familiar because this game is based on Girls Frontline series, but instead they make tactics, they make 3D TPS or third person shooter. So from the gameplay, it's kinda roughly quite similar like Snowbreak or something like that, and not so much information because they just announced the first like trailer and preview in here, and they only announced another thing also that they will do a technical test, but sadly it's only certain region, specifically only is in Southeast Asia, while worldwide they say it's coming soon. As for the release date, don't expect much, is still in the test period, and for the platform, mobile and PCs. And lastly, I'll save the best for the last for my version, which is Arknights Endfield. So Arknights is basically quite popular if you already know in like gacha community. It is a tower defense game, but this time it's not tower defense, it's more like a real-time 3D RPG. So the gameplay, it's actually more like, not like Genshin or Ua, like just pure action. This is kind of like similar like Xenoblade if you ever play, or like like Final Fantasy 12. It's kind of like real-time 3D, like feel like a little bit action, but also like turn-based have elements, something like, which is I can say quite unique. Not just like typical like open world action RPG that we can see lately that so much like have the same format. This is a little bit different, and I'm not really sure if this is even turned to be like just open world or not in the finalized version. But yeah, overall I can say this game is very solid, from not just like from gameplay looks promising, from the music, character, the vibe looks very good. As for release dates, there's no much information, but they doing the open beta test this January, so I believe it's soon, between a year or two from what I make this video, it will release soon. As for platform, just typical PC and mobile, and they include right now is PS5 that they confirm. So yeah, that's basically the game that I announced. I think it's more than last year that I make the list this time. Of course, there's still a lot much more anime games that I have announced, but mostly they are only like confirmed like either JP or CN, or still very like not really sure, so that's why I didn't put in here. But for the detail list, I will just put in a description. There are some of them that only like JP only you can take a look, but this one in the video is mostly about that most likely will come on English. And I want to talk to you a little bit, like I already told you before, like do you think like lately Gacha game has too much open world? Because for me, yes. And even from what I put in the list, it's already 5 the one that open world action RPG. And the craziest part that if you include like the NCN only, it still have around like 3 or 5 more like open world action RPG, which is so crazy. We almost have around like 10 that's like open world action RPG games. Like why they don't put more variation into other like genre, let's say like tactical like GFL that did. At least it feels different vibe, nice. That's why I really appreciate more the game, let's say like the hidden ones that I already mentioned before. It just look like one-on-one fighting. It just it looks different, and I hope more gacha games they want to make, no, just make open world RPG, because for me right now I feel it's too oversaturated. But of course maybe it's just me. That's why I asked you what do you think, because I already play from Genshin, Wua, and I already play like Zelda Breath of Wild. I play a lot of different open world too. I feel like I'm kinda done with this. They put way too much. So yeah, pretty much that's it. I just hope like future games, especially gacha, it's not what open world hit. I'm kinda tired out of it. Also, Arknights Endfield is still my the most wait for the gacha game that I really want. And yeah, I will end the video in here. I hope the best of luck of you, because this is already the end of the year, and I wish you happy new year and all the best. And if you like this video, feel free to hit the button like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.